So guys, it's time for a new part of 10 tips that will make you a better player in eFootball. In this series, we explain 10 little tips and tricks in the game that most people ignore them. But there's some details that if you implement all of them in your gameplay, they will significantly improve your skills. We have already 2 parts on the channel, your support has been amazing, so we are back with another one. Well, without any further ado, let's go ahead and do this. In 2026 version, Konami decided to buff sliding tackle and now it is so effective. Before that, I barely used it, but right now it's a key part of my defending. But I'm not only talking about tackling, I want to show you its power in interceptions. Lately with sliding tackles, I ruined the most dangerous attacks that was coming towards my goal. If you predict when your opponent is going for a through pass, an untimed sliding tackle could be lifesaver. You can see with a sliding as my final option, I completely destroyed my opponent's chance to score a goal. So if you use it correctly, it's one of the best ways to intercept passes when the team is in danger. Now I want to show you the best way to stop the ball and your player in the game. You can see here if I leave my controller when my player is running, it takes so much time until he stops. And sometimes you need to stop in a specific moment during the match. So for doing that, you have to leave all the buttons and just hold dash without anything else. It's the easiest way to stop your player without turning to another way. Especially for the moments that you want to dribble or pass the ball back, it can be useful. Next one is an attacking and defending tip at the same time. So holding the matchup button all the time in defending is one of the most common mistakes that players do. I can say 90% of players are doing this, and if a good player realizes it, he can badly punish you. You can see if I cancel my shoot before the player touches the ball, my opponent's player reacts to this action and he is out easily. It's only because he is holding the matchup, and it will be a good chance for me to get rid of his player. So mostly try to do manual positioning in the defense and use matchup when it's needed. And on the other hand, use super cancels against the opponents who are doing this wrong way of defending. Doing both of them can be hard, but they will solve so many problems, especially in the defense. We always talk about the skills that are underrated and most people don't pay attention to them. And this one is trackback, which is a very useful defending skill. It enables the player to aggressively apply pressure to the opposition ball holder all the way from the front lines. So it's gonna be very effective, especially for your midfielders, to chase the opponent's players even when they lose the ball. Also, it's good for players like attacking fullbacks. Even if you don't switch to the player who has this skill, he will track back himself, so make sure to consider that. There's a way to control your defense line manually, which I rarely see people use. By using it, you can bring your defenders to the back or front in different scenarios. For that, you have to use your D-pad and hold it to the direction that you want. And in the map, you can see your defenders' movements. That could be used for pulling them back to deal with long through balls, but the main usage of it is for offside traps. So this will help you to control more than one player and defend better. It's time to tell you a goalkeeping trick like the previous part. So I made a video about the smart assist and told you it made manual goalkeeping useless, because it will choose the power and the best angle for shooting in the attack and calculate the goalkeeper's position in a millisecond. So as soon as you realize your opponent is using a smart assist, don't switch to your goalkeeper because it's absolutely pointless. Even if you guess correctly, you will easily decide to shoot to the other way, so just don't do it. Let's stay with the goalkeeper, and it's actually a simple thing about the goal kick. If you watch my videos, you know that I don't like leave things up to chance. Trying long balls and crosses and just hoping, because I believe the more you have the ball, the more chance you have to win. So in the goal kick, don't just feel the power and shoot to the middle of the pitch. Why to do that when you can safely give it to one of your players and create a goal chance? Same goes for long range free kicks, so instead of 50-50 you can keep the ball easily. But be careful, because if you do an early mistake, you are done. I always told you how important it is to give the right passing skills to your players, because if you don't, there is more chance for you to lose the ball. One touch pass and through passing are so important for your defenders, especially when you want to pass the ball in compact situations. There are so many defenders that don't have these two skills together. Even Marquinhos, for example, who is a build-up center back. So without them you will be in trouble if your defenders make a simple mistake. If you don't know how to give your favorite skill to a player, watch the previous part. So next one is actually a mind game that helped me to win more matches. And it's about the importance of the first goal. I've seen so many people that in the beginning, they are so patient, they don't rush and they don't defend aggressively. But as soon as they concede the first goal, the dynamics change. Most of them lose their focus, especially in the defense, and just want to get the ball back immediately. Because right after you get the lead, time becomes a factor for them. So do your best to score the first goal and don't concede it yourself, because that can happen to you as well, so keep that in mind. And last one is probably the most important tip that I've told you in this series. And that is, do not leave the game. Most people, when they concede 2 or 3 goals, they will instantly leave the match. I mean, if playing against someone who is way stronger than you is not the time to learn something, then when is the time? It's the best chance to learn how to defend, how to attack, how to play when you are under so much pressure. Doesn't matter if you receive 10 goals, at least you will gain so much experience. And that's why the people who play until the last second have my biggest respect. Because they actually care about being better, not just looking for a weaker opponent to beat. Besides that, who knows, maybe you did a crazy comeback. For example, in this game, I received 3 goals in 20 minutes, but look what happens in the end. That was it for this part, guys, and I hope it has been useful for you. Every month we have a new part, so if you have an idea, write me down.